Hello, everybody. This is a recording for week four's passages from Midsummer Night's Dream. Okay, so we're going to be starting with Act 3, Scene 2, and we're going to start from about line 40. Oberon's speech, stand close, this is the same Athenian, to line 175. Okay, so reading of the scene and then a few remarks about it. Starting then from line, I think it's line 41, Oberon starts. Stand close, this is the same Athenian. This is the woman, but not this the man. This is Puck, obviously. Demetrius. Oh, why rebuke him that loves you so? Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe. Hermia. Now I but chide, but I should use thee worse, for thou, I fear, hast given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, being o'ershores in blood, plunge in the deep and kill me too. The sun was not so true until the day as he to me. Would he have stolen away from sleeping Hermia? I'll believe as soon this whole earth may be bored, and the moon may through the centre creep, and so displease her brother's noontide with the Antipodes. It cannot be but thou hast murdered him. So should a murderer look, so dead and grim. Demetrius. So should the murdered look, and so should I, pierced through the heart with your stern cruelty. Yet you, the murderer, look as bright, as clear as yonder's Venus in her glimmering sphere. Hermia. What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Our good Demetrius, will you give him me? Demetrius, I'd rather give his carcass to my hounds. Hermia. Out, dog, out, cur. Thou hast driven me past the bounds of maiden patience. Hast thou slain him then? Henceforth never be numbered among men. Once tell me true, tell true even for my sake. Durst thou have looked at him being awake, and hast thou killed him sleeping? O brave touch! Could not a worm and adder do as much? An adder did it, for with doubler tongue than thine thou serpent never adder stung. Demetrius, you spend your passion on a misprized mood. I am not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead, for aught that I can tell. Hermia, I pray thou tell me then that he is well. Demetrius, and if I could, what should I get therefore? Hermia, a privilege never to see me more. And then from thy hated presence part I so, see me no more, whether he be dead or no. Demetrius, there is no following her in this fierce vein. Here therefore for a while I will remain, so sorrow's heaviness doth heavier grow. With debt that bankrupt sleep doth sorrow owe, which now in slight measure it will pay, if for his tender here I make some stay. Oberon, what hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love's sight. Of thy misprison must perforce ensue some true love turned, and not a false turned true. Puck, then fate o'errules, that one man holding troth, a million fail, confounding oath on oath. Oberon, about the wood, go swifter than the wind, and Helen of Athens look thou find. All fancy sick is she, and pale of cheer, with sighs of love that cost the fresh blood dear. By some illusion see thou bring her here. I'll charm his eyes against she do appear. Puck, I go, look how I go, swifter than an arrow from the Tartar's bow. Squeezing the juice on Demetrius's eyelids, Oberon says, flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery, sink in apple of his eye, where his love he does espy. Let her shine as gloriously as the Venus of the sky. When thou wakest, if she be by, beg of her for remedy. Puck, captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be. Oberon, stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake. Then will two at once woo one, then must needs be sport alone, and those things that do best please me thou befall preposterously. Enter Lysander and Helena. Lysander, why should you think that I should woo in scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep, and vows so born in all their nativity all truth appears. How can these things in me seem scorn to you, bearing the badge of faith to prove them true? Helena, you do advance your cunning more and more, when truth kills truth. Oh, devilish holy fray! These vows of Hermia's, will thou give her o'er? Weigh oath with oath, and you will nothing weigh. Your vows to her and me, put in two scales, will even weigh, and both as light as tails. Lysander, I had no judgment when I to her swore, nor none in my mind, now you give her o'er. Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you. Demetrius waking, oh, Helen, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine, to what my love shall I compare thine eyne? Crystal is muddy, Oh, how ripe in show thy lips, those kissing cherries tempting grow, that pure congealed white high Tartar's snow, fanned with the eastern wind, turns to a crow when thou hold'st up thy hand. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss. Helena. Oh, spite! Oh, hell! I see you all bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus so much injury. Can you not hate me as I know you do, that you must join in souls to mock me too? If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and superpraise my parts, when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You are both rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise to conjure tears up in a poor maid's eyes, with your derision. None of noble sort would so offend a virgin and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make you sport. You are, Lysander, you are unkind, Demetrius, be not so, for you love Hermia, this you know, I know. And here, with all good will and with my heart, in Hermia's love, I yield you up my part, and yours of Helen to me bequeath, what I do love, and will do until my death. Helena, never did mockers waste more idle breath. Demetrius, Lysander, keep thy Hermia, I will none. If I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her is but as a guestwise sojourned, and now to Helen it is home returned, there to remain. Lysander, Helen, it is not so. Demetrius, disparage not thy faith, thou dost know, lest in thy peril thou abide it, dear. Look, where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear. Okay, so a confusing scene. Here then we have the three lovers in the wood. The fourth will arrive. Puck, obviously, and Oberon start off the scene by seeing Demetrius and Hermia arrive. Hermia is looking for Lysander, obviously, and Demetrius is still pledging his troth to Helena. Demetrius is asleep at the moment, so he will see Helena when he wakes up. Demetrius has still the love for Helena in his heart, and Hermia thinks that he's killed Lysander, and so therefore all the ideas of murdered, the foe, the one you hate, etc. The idea of sport here is fun, is joking, mockery. Shakespeare is mocking true love because with a little bit of juice here, a little bit of flower juice, everything changes, and they fall in love with the other woman. Demetrius says he's not guilty of slaying Lysander, and we have a lovely antimetabole through Oberon's speech. Some true love turned, and not a false turned true. 91, that's line 91. An antimetabole is a line that uses the same words but in a different order. Now, Oberon squeezes the juice on Demetrius's eyelids when he falls asleep, and therefore then what happens? He falls in love with Helena instead of Hermia. So both men are under the influence of the love juice. Helena still does not believe that either of the men are in love with her. She wishes, or had wished, Demetrius to be so, but she knows that Lysander it's not really what his heart's desires, but she doesn't realise, of course, that he's under the effect of the love juice squeezed on his eyelids by Puck. We've got some isocolon. You both are rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena. Okay, so it's word matching, rivals, love, and mock. Okay, and that's line 155. And Hermia comes in at the end, obviously, completely in the dark about what has happened. She doesn't understand that Lysander has been fallen foul of Puck, and still thinks that he's in love with her, and can't understand why he's suddenly fallen in love with Helena. So all this scene is to do with an immense confusion. If you get confused, and that's what Shakespeare is doing to all of us as readers and as spectators of the play, he is stirring up confusion between the lovers, and he's stirring up confusion between the various people, the various lovers, and in front of the spectators, they are just as confused as anybody else. So confusion reigns, but it's all of the playwright's doing, and that's what he's up to. and that's his aim in this scene. Okay, thank you very much. Speak to you later.